Welcome to 15 Minute Theatre, the only review show that packs a whole production into 900 seconds. The date is Wednesday, 30th of August 2017, and today we saw The Ferryman. Open the house. Okay, how you doing, Vicky?
I'm okay, thank you very much, James.
Alright, so we went to see The Ferryman.
We did go and see The Ferryman.
Okay, so just to give you a little bit of information about it, it's a play written by Jez Butterworth.
Jez Butterworth, the writer of Jerusalem, which is the play that I never saw, that I've always been very sad about.
Oh dear. And it was directed by Sam Mendes.
Sam Mendes, Oscar-winning director man, ex-Mr. Winslet.
And the venue was the Gielgud Theatre.
That is correct.
And it's going to be running for a while. It's had an extended run, hasn't it?
Yes, I'm not sure of the closing date, but I think towards the end of the year.
Ah, brilliant. All right, so let's get straight into the review. Right, what did you think?
I have to say that I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Yeah, I thought it was brilliant.
It was, I'd say, in my top 3 pieces of theatre ever.
So it revolves around a farmhouse in Ireland, doesn't it?
It does indeed.
And it's set in the 80s, and a main focus is IRA and the tensions about all of that stuff.
Yeah, it's while the hunger strikes were going on, which is quite an important part of the show. I don't want to give you any spoilers, of course.
And it does deal with quite serious themes, but it's very funny as well, isn't it?
It's very funny. The dialogue is very, very clever and witty. And yes, there is a serious side to it, but yes, very, very amusing.
So, staging-wise, what did you think of the set?
I thought the set was great. It was basically a big farmhouse kitchen, very realistic. Yeah, it was good. It definitely looked the part, that's for sure.
It had like stone slab tile floors, didn't it?
Yeah, which sort of weirdly sounded like... I mean, I imagine it wasn't actually stone, but when people walked across it, it did sound like stone, which I thought, I don't know how they did it. The magic of theatre. I
mean, I grew up on a farm, and it really reminded me of like an old-fashioned farmhouse.
Yeah, the lighting was really good, where they had the windows and they had the light coming at different periods of the day, was very naturalistic and worked very well, I thought.
And you didn't get bored by the set, did you? I mean, because it's quite a long play. Jeez, how long was it?
Oh, was it about 3.5 hours, including
like
intervals?
Yeah, one interval, one pause.
Oh yes, a pause.
A pause.
Where we weren't allowed to leave our seats.
Yeah, so kind of pointless really. But I think they were resetting the stage, weren't they? But yeah, there was enough to grab your attention just through the staging, really.
Yeah, and I think there was so much stuff going on with people coming in and out all the time that it didn't really matter that it was in one room.
So talking about people coming in and out all the time,
yes,
the cast was huge.
The cast was indeed enormous. There's a basset hound on my leg.
Yeah, sorry, my dog's here, distracting us while we're doing this today. Are you, Columbo? Anyway,
so
there's about 20 in the cast.
Did you count them? I didn't count them.
I counted them at the end.
Did you do a little head count?
I did a little head when they were all doing their bows.
Was that confusing when they were going up highs and lows and difficult to keep track of?
Well, I used to count cows, didn't I? So I'm quite good at counting.
Oh yeah.
And it's only up to 20, so.
Oh well, that's fine.
Manageable.
So
headed up by Paddy Considine.
Considine.
I think.
Yes, but it was very much an ensemble cast. I don't think anyone had a particularly bigger role than anybody else. Everybody had their part, and everyone was very, very good. And I don't think... He was probably the reason why some people would go and see it, but I don't think he stole anybody's thunder, so to speak.
I thought he did a standout, solid performance.
Yeah.
He didn't take away from any of the characters. He certainly didn't pull focus or anything.
No, he didn't.
But he was the kind of centre of that family, which was what he was supposed to be, I suppose.
Yeah, he was the head of the family, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. But they were all good, all of them.
Yeah, and I don't want to give too much of the story away, but there was a couple of women, 2 kind of maternal figures. What did you think of those two?
I thought they were both excellent. Again, don't want to give the story away, but yeah, they're both very good. Both. Sorry, somebody's trying to phone me. It's really annoying. I'm going to have to do something about this. Yeah, everyone was good. I'm just saying good a lot because everyone was very good.
I tell you who I really liked, and I'm just trying to remember. I think it was the person who played Aunt Pat.
Yes.
So Aunt Pat was this quite an old woman,
yes.
White hair. And when we meet her for the first time, she's kind of dressed in black, isn't she? She's quite serious.
Yes, she's quite a vicious old bird, I'd say.
Well, she is, and she absolutely hates Thatcher and hates what the English have done to Ireland, and it becomes quite a central theme throughout the play. But
yes.
Her performance was amazing, I thought.
Yes, she was very good. Yeah, she was a very strong character. Maybe not quite so central as some of the others, but what she said was very important in the way that it developed. And again, don't want to give anything away.
Yeah. Did you know where it was going to go? Did you guess?
There were bits of it that I definitely didn't guess. I don't know. No, I didn't guess that it would end the way it did. I thought that some things would happen, but they didn't happen how I expected them to happen.
Well, I suppose the other kind of people we should talk about really are the kids, because there was about, 6 kids in it?
Yeah, the kids were great. There was a baby. They had a baby in it.
Well, they had a baby. They had a goose.
Yeah.
And a rabbit.
Yeah.
Which is amazing. When was the last time you saw all those on the stage together?
I've never seen a real life goose on the stage ever.
And the opening of, was it Act 2? The baby was just there on its own on the middle of the stage.
Yeah, which is, I fear for their health and safety, but...
Well, I don't think it was going to go anywhere, was it?
The baby was fine.
It could hardly walk.
Yeah.
Well, it couldn't walk. But the children were brilliant, and they for me, they just stand out like bits which were just very funny, because they kept swearing, didn't they? And kids swearing's always funny.
Yeah, and there's a very touching part where the kids are... There's another old lady in it who... I think has dementia or something, and there's a very touching part where the kids are
Aunt
talking
Maggie,
to her. Aunt Maggie, yeah. There's where the girls are sat around her asking her questions. That's really lovely, isn't it?
Yeah, because she'd just come back from her dementia and she'd been on these travels around Ireland and into the past and all this kind of stuff.
Yeah,
it was good. It was brilliant. So I thought that all the performances were top notch, really. And I suppose the other couple to mention, Mr. Muldoon, was it?
Yeah.
I think that was his name, or Muldoon or something. Muldoon, who was the representative from the IRA.
Yeah, so we meet him in the first scene, don't we?
He was sinister.
Yeah, he was the bad guy, definitely. Yeah, he wouldn't be my friend in real life.
No, but he really did. As soon as he walked on, he kind of got you a little bit nervous. Got me a little bit nervous anyway.
Yeah, because you didn't really know what he was going to do.
Yeah, that certainly had a lot of power.
Yeah.
I suppose really the only other person to mention was Tom Kettle, who played the only English guy.
Yeah, so it was a bit controversial, wasn't it, that this family had an English guy working for them?
And he was. We reckon he was autistic.
Yeah, I think so. He definitely had some.
Definitely had the traits. He's on the spectrum, that's for sure.
Yeah, but he was a great character, a bit of a foil, I think, to some of the other stuff that was going on.
Yeah. So, story. Do you think it was a good story?
Yeah, I do think it's a good story. It's sort of the majority of it unfolded. I was going to say unfurled. That's just a posh word for unfolded, isn't it?
It's unfurled.
Unfurled. It unfolded over a couple of days, 24 hours, something like that.
Yeah.
But they managed to get in quite a lot of talk about stuff that happened in the past, and so it seemed like it was much bigger than it was. And obviously they connected it to political things that were going on at the time. So even though it was quite intensely focused on this family, it seemed much bigger because it brought in all these other things, about the hunger strike and all that stuff.
I don't really know very much about any of that part of history, really. I was quite ignorant, and to hear that view and to hear a very sympathetic view of the troubles in Ireland and Northern Ireland.
Well, I guess
fascinating.
I guess we grew up with living in England, possibly not really getting a fair perspective on it. What we heard was very biased. So I think, it was interesting to see it from another point of view that I personally hadn't experienced. And yeah, I thought it was great. I mean, I think the dialogue, as I think I mentioned earlier, was just really, really, really well written.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, and in 3.5 hours, I didn't look at my watch once. I didn't get bored once. I was totally engaged all the way through, which is unusual for me. I'm normally asleep within 5 minutes.
So, what was your standout piece, standout moment?
I don't know. There was a revelation in it, which I think we all assumed that a relationship was a certain way, and then there was this revelation.
Oh yeah.
And I think that was sort of, I don't know whether it was a standout moment because there were so many bits that were good, but I think to me that really sort of, well, it does stand out.
Yeah. For me, I think I loved Aunt Maggie, the old lady's speech.
Oh yeah, she's amazing.
You know, I thought that was brilliant, and having all those kids captivated around there. Right, anyway, this is 50-minute theatre, so we've got to move on because we're going to run out of time.
50 minute. We've upped the time
no,
because the Ferryman's so
still
good.
Still 15 minutes. Okay, so we're going to move on to our other feature, Water You Talking About. So,
is that what it's called now?
I came up with it. What do you reckon? So, well, we buy a bottle of water in every theatre venue because we know how extortionate these things can be.
Yeah, mainly because I'm pretty disgusted at what hydrating costs.
So, last time, the bottle of water was...
I think it was £2.70.
Yeah, which was extortionate.
Ridiculous.
And as that was the first one we've reviewed, that puts it at number 1 on our rank on our ranking list.
Yeah.
So, how much was the water this week?
I believe it was £2.
£2,
which they seemed quite proud about, didn't they?
Yeah. Which means that, actually, I should do the ranking the other way around, really. Which means that the best priced water so far is at the Gielgud Theatre.
Yeah.
For £2.
So we'll see how that goes.
That's very exciting.
I'm not sure we can top 270, to be honest.
So that places it number 1 on our league table.
Yeah.
Congratulations, Gielgud Theatre. You're doing a good job. Right. So now we're down to all the all-important marks out of 10. So we get there's 5 categories, and we get 5 points each on each category.
Okay,
all right.
Let's do it.
Okay. So performances.
5. It's absolutely stand out. One of the best things I've ever seen.
Yeah, I've got to give it a 5 as well. I couldn't knock any single performance. I liked everybody.
I felt that Paddy Considine's accent slipped a couple of times, but it was really minimal, and it didn't spoil anything for me. So.
And he was so good. You kind of excuse that.
Yeah.
Staging.
I'm going to go 5 again.
I'm going to go 5. I think it's one of the most wonderful sets I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Very naturalistic, but it works so well.
Yeah, it really worked very well.
Okay, technical prowess.
Oh, wow, prowess.
So basically, what did you think technically?
Well, I mean, I don't know. Well, I mean, I guess if you factor in stuff like how good the lighting was, I'm just going to say 5.
I'm going to give it a 3 because there wasn't really anything technically.
Yeah, but maybe that's the magic. We didn't notice it 'cause it was so good.
Maybe. All right, originality.
5.
Another 5.
Yeah.
I'm going to give it a 5 as well. Crikey. And last category, was it worth it?
If I could give it more than a 5, I would, because I can't rate this play highly.
My goodness me. All right, so you've given it a 5. I've given it a 5. Right, so I'm going to tot up these scores.
Using the magic of your brain. Oh, there's a dog in my ear now.
Oh, my lord. Okay, right, so the overall result is 48 out of 50.
That is strong.
So it means it gets a 4.8 star rating.
I thought we were rounding it up. That's what we did with the last
Well,
one.
if we do round it up, we're never going to see which one's the very best.
Okay.
4.8 stars is not bad, though.
No, I think that's pretty good. I mean, I personally would give it full marks, but this is a democratic process.
So you definitely want to recommend, yeah?
Oh, absolutely. I can't recommend this play highly enough.
Go and see it. And talking about highly enough, we were quite high up, weren't we?
We were quite high up.
And it didn't affect it?
No, it didn't affect it at all.
So, yeah, get some cheap tickets. Okay.
Or some expensive ones if you've got the money.
If you've got the money. Right, well, that's the theatre bell, which means, once again, Vicky, we're out of time.
Oh, shame.
So thanks for listening. I've been James.
I've been Vicky.
The curtain's down, the theatre's dark, and that was 15-minute theatre. If you're brave enough to have your theatre production reviewed, please contact us at 15minutetheatre@gmail.com, find us on Twitter, and please rate and review us on iTunes. Thanks for listening.